It's 2022, I'm 23 years old, and my finger is hovering over a button on my phone that, if I press it, has the potential to change the trajectory of my life forever. I'm about to delete my Instagram account. And no, I'm not talking about that cute little thing where you delete the app off your phone and then 4 hours later you're on Instagram.com. I'm talking about deleting my account, okay? Getting rid of Instagram once and for all, because I just can't take it anymore. I was honestly just sick and tired of just being connected to the world and just consuming what everybody else was doing. I wanted to shed everything and just kind of start fresh. I don't know if you've ever felt that before, but that's how I was feeling at that time. And it was a very scary moment. I'm literally about to press the button, but so many thoughts are rushing through my head. First of all, I'm like, is this too impulsive if I just press this? Maybe I should just like give this more thought. Another unexpected thought that I was having was, what are people gonna think about me? Specifically, what will women think about me? I was at a point in my life where I wanted to be more adventurous. I wanted to approach women. I wanted to stop using dating apps because they were never really working for me at all. And I was lonely, and I was like, I need to start actually approaching women in real life, because first of all, it's gonna hopefully, make me less lonely. I'll actually meet women that I connect with, hopefully. And second of all, I really was bothered by the fact that I had this fear in me that like I was afraid of talking to a stranger and like approaching a girl that I liked, and the fact that, women are harmless. Really, the only thing that I was afraid of was getting rejected by a girl who I thought was cute, and like what that would say about me, So I had a lot of fear in me, and I was like, I want to just get over this fear. I'm tired of having it. But one thing that really, really like made me hesitant to delete Instagram was, what if I approach a girl, we connect, right? We have like a good conversation.
Hey, hi, this is random. I was across the street and I saw you. I thought you were really cute. I just wanted to say hi.
Thank you, that's
Yeah,
nice.
I dodged traffic to come say hi to you.
And I get her contact information, but like, how do I do that? Like, I've heard women say that they don't want to give their number out to guys because it's like too personal. And I kind of thought about myself too. I'm like, I don't know if I would feel comfortable giving my number out to a stranger. Instagram is kind of like this built-in like middle ground where people can also kind of see like if you're like a normal person, right? If they follow your account and you have photos of you and other people, like your friends and whatnot, and if you have a lot of followers, then it kind of validates you and makes you seem more normal, right? And I was really worried that if I told women, hey, I don't have an Instagram, I'll just do, phone numbers or something, I was worried that they would view me as like a creep or something. Like, what are you hiding? Why don't you have an Instagram? Are you living life in this weird way that like you're trying to hide shit from people, like you fucking weirdo? I was really worried about that. This is like judgment, I kind of hesitated a little bit to actually press that button, but in that moment, I was like, you know what? I want to double down on myself. I want to double down on being a guy who just immerses himself into the world, and just doubling down on like people as well. Like, I want to believe that there's other people out there, other women especially, that not only are they attractive and I'm attracted to them and we connect on a personal level, but they're also not into the social media stuff, right? They're also not into the Instagram stuff, and they would rather connect with a human being face to face than like give a fuck about their Instagram, follower count and all that stuff. As a Gen Z, that's kind of tough, right? Honestly, like we grew up on social media. It's hard to unplug. I remember being like a younger kid in high school and walking into my high school class one time, and everybody was just on their phones, dude. And I was just like forcing myself to be the only one who like wasn't on their phone. So it's tough, right? Being in like your 20s and kind of trying to reject social media and all that stuff. Back to the main story. So I pressed the button and I officially deleted my account. And Instagram gives you like a 30-day window where you could restore your account, but eventually those 30 days passed and it was official. My Instagram account was gone. Fast forward about 6 months. It's 2023 now. I'm 24 years old and I'm working out at a gym in Mexico. So I had a remote job, and this was me taking that big leap into adventure, curiosity, right? I was gonna stay in Mexico, not just for a week or anything, but 2 months, all by myself. I went there all by myself, and this was a huge step for me. I mean, this was like probably the most like uncertain thing that I was ever getting myself into. But I was viewing these 2 months as a social boot camp of sorts. I wanted to push myself. I wanted to push myself to approach women that I found attractive, to approach dudes that I think are cool, basically, and like make new friends. I wanted to like go out and, experience nightlife because I've never really done that, to be honest, at that point in my life. And I also just wanted to develop this ability to comfort myself in times of loneliness. I wanted to develop this self-trust that I could go out to a country, to a foreign country where, there's a foreign language being spoken. I'm gonna immerse myself into, the social activities there, and I'm gonna face rejection. I'm gonna, face hopefully like positive outcomes as well, making new friends, meeting girls and stuff. So anyways, I'm at this gym working out and I see this really cute girl. She's blonde, really fit. She's working out like, I don't know, few feet away from me. And again, I'm in my social era, right? Like my social cold approach journey. And I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna go talk to her. And I was nervous for sure, but again, I was forcing myself to just get over these fears. I walk up to her, say, hey, excuse me, I was over there, I saw you, I thought you were really cute, I wanted to come say hi. And she was really receptive, honestly, and she, we just got to talking. We spoke for a few minutes, and then at the end of the conversation, I was like, I'd love to, meet up sometime, grab a coffee or, smoothie or something. And she was like, yeah, sure. I pulled out my phone and I was like, yeah, like we just like exchange WhatsApps or something. She was cool with it. She didn't bring up any Instagram thing, I don't think. And that was like kind of a cool feeling, like, okay, like she doesn't give a fuck about that. Kind of challenging my assumption already that like women care about you having an Instagram or whatever. But this other thing happened that really surprised me. I got her WhatsApp contact, right? And then later I'm back at home and I go to her contact just to like make sure, I don't know, it's real. I see her photo in the WhatsApp thing, okay, cool, it's real. But I see her Instagram account linked in her WhatsApp. So I'm like, okay, like let me click on that, I don't know. I click on it, and again, I don't have the app, but I have like the Instagram.com on my phone pull up or whatever. But I see her account and she has like 10,000 followers. She's like this like influencer of sorts, right? Like, I mean, it's not a crazy number of followers, but it's, it's a lot of followers. Something hit me where I was like, dude, if I had known the amount of followers that she had prior to approaching her, I would have been intimidated, okay? I would have been intimidated, and I probably wouldn't have had the courage to approach her because I would have felt like, okay, like she has 10,000 followers, she is high status basically, right? Like in kind of this like thought process that us men have, the thought process we have is like, okay, because she has a lot of followers, she is popular, which means she's high status, which means there's a lot of guys interested in her, which means she can kind of pick and choose whatever guy she wants, which means she can get the best guy available. That's like the thought process that I at least have in those situations. And it's a flawed thought process. It's flawed logic. Women don't actually like sit there with a fucking Excel spreadsheet, like ranking every guy in her Instagram account or whatever. They just meet a guy and they're like, okay, like he's cute, he's, fun and whatever. Like they don't really think that deeply, right? Like romantic connection just kind of happens. But in my head at that time, and also just like having this like Gen Z Instagram fucking warped brain, I was like realizing like, man, like if I had known she had so many followers, I would never have approached her. And the same thing happened a couple weeks later. I was working out and there was this really attractive like fitness influencer looking Mexican girl or whatever. And again, like I had no idea who she was, but she was very attractive obviously. And yeah, I just approached her. I was just in the zone. I was like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna talk to as many people as I can, forcing myself to do that. Forcing myself to approach the most attractive women that would normally like intimidate me the most. And yeah, I walked up to her. Her English was not good, my Spanish was not good, but we kind of just managed to talk somehow. And like in Spanglish kind of. And yeah, I offered to exchange WhatsApps and she kind of brought up the Instagram thing. She was like, what about Instagram? And I was like, oh, I don't use Instagram. And she was like, like, what are you hiding, right? But it was kind of like a joking thing. She wasn't really being serious. And she kind of jokingly was like, well, like you have a girlfriend and you're trying to like hide it, whatever. She kind of made fun of me a little bit. And I was like, nah, nothing like that. And I probably now would have been like, yes, I do have a girlfriend. Kind of just like teased her back a little bit. But back then I was like still very new into like approaching and flirting and all that stuff. But yeah, I got her WhatsApp, same thing. Her Instagram was linked in her WhatsApp. I clicked on it. Her page had like 30,000 followers or something. And I was like looking at her photos. I was like, damn, yeah, like she's really attractive and she's posting all those like influencer type photos that, I'm sure you get the picture. But again, I was like, I would never have approached her if I had known that she had like that many followers. So what I realized from these experiences is that you literally become more confident when dude, ignorance is bliss, right? It's really just like a cliche at this point that like we all know, but this was such a good example of that, where it's like being ignorant of a woman's popularity or her status or whatever, like how you think people perceive her. It makes you talk to her as if it's nothing, right? Like as if she's just like a regular human being, which she is, right? It just, the follower count kind of warps our head a little bit and makes us feel like, oh wow, she's really popular, she's high status, and she's like above me, right? You kind of put her on a pedestal even when you don't want to. A huge benefit of deleting Instagram, especially if you're a young guy who wants to feel more confident with women, you actually want to like, just again, shed the digital, social media bullshit and actually start approaching women in real life, having a fun dating life. Deleting Instagram makes you completely unaware of like a woman's like status or whatever. And that is really cool. And it makes you more attractive because you're just more confident, right? It puts you above immediately, right? If you approach a woman who has like, let's say like she has like a fucking 500,000 followers and you know nothing about that, but let's say that's who she is, and you walk up to her, you talk to her as if she's a normal human being, you're joking around with her, you're just chill, right? She's gonna immediately be like, oh wow, this guy has a lot of confidence, and it immediately puts you above all of those guys in her DMs, trying to like win her over in the DMs or whatever. It's like, okay, you actually talked to her in real life, looked her in the eyes, made her smile, made her laugh, and that's how you win a woman over, you know what I mean? In general, the less you care about someone's status, the more confident you'll be around them. Like I remember at my full-time job, I had to meet like a bunch of, of my coworkers in the first week, right? Like kind of the onboarding process. And I didn't know who was who. I just like would have like one call after another. And I got on a call with somebody, this woman kind of like older, like in her 40s or 50s or something. And I was just asking her like, hey, like, what do you like about working here? Like I was asking her like very like sort of just questions you would ask like somebody who's like on your level, like you're not really intimidated by them at all. And then I find out later that she's like literally like the vice president of marketing or something, which if I had known that going into it, into our talk, I would have probably been a little bit more like put together and like less just casual and more like, listening to what she has to say and like kind of just taking her advice and like just more structured, right? But instead, I didn't know what her status was, and I was like super friendly and casual, and we actually had a pretty cool conversation. That's just a random side note, but yeah, knowing about a woman's status especially, which is really easy to find out about through Instagram. You delete that shit, you're not gonna really know about anything, and it's gonna make you way more confident. So I definitely recommend deleting Instagram if that's something you've been considering. This channel is all about helping guys take that leap into adventure and curiosity, exploring the world, being more social, relying less on digital dopamine and actually like going out seeking adventure in real life and taking rejection on the chin, just learning how to experience, that social rejection and those anxious moments and just forcing yourself to go through it. Approach women you find attractive, talk to dudes that you think are cool and make new friends, get a girlfriend, just be more social in general. That's what this channel is all about. That's what my mission is all about, because I forced myself to go through that experience and my whole like life trajectory changed, honestly. Right now, for a limited time only, I'm doing a free group boot camp, like workshop type of thing, and you could sign up for that with the link down below. I'd love to see you there, and that's it for this video, bro. I'll see you next time.